Welcome back to Analytical Media. We are a consortium, a group of therapists, college professors, academics, and well-published, peer-reviewed authors. Today's question: what are the personality traits of cult leaders, and is there a connection to conspiracy theories? Cult leaders almost always show a recognizable psychological profile built around extreme narcissism, manipulation, and a lack of empathy. You can see this in leaders of cults. Remember, the Nazi Party was thought of as a cult. And anything that I'm about to tell you would be consistent with Adolf Hitler, as well as many other political leaders, including current political leaders. So what does it say? We're going to see extreme narcissism. Somebody who's the best, the greatest. Only they can do it. Nobody's as good as them. They know everything about everything. They figured everything out. Seriously, people fall victim to this type of personality, to a narcissist. That narcissist may only have 15 followers, 5 followers, or they might have millions of followers. So they have not only narcissism, they have extreme narcissism. They'll look you right in the eye and tell you, I am the best. Only I can do this. No one else could do this. They'll tell you everything there is to know about pouring concrete or artificial intelligence. Makes no difference. They believe in themselves, and that kind of confidence wins people over. Especially people who are unsure. They just follow somebody who's really, really sure. And they show manipulation. It means they say things and do things to motivate you in a certain way, to manipulate you. And they have a lack of empathy. Do you have more empathy than the political leader you follow? Could you say, yeah, I'm more empathetic, I feel more sadness and grief, and I have sympathy, compassion. But I voted for so-and-so, and he doesn't have any of that. Well, it's probably because he's a cult leader, and you're a follower. You have empathy. The cult leader has none. People who believe strongly in conspiracy theories, and that would be a follower of a cult leader, a political leader, they tend to be paranoid to some degree, not overly, horribly, terribly, but they're always thinking there's a conspiracy going around. There's secrets. More likely to believe in the Illuminati. More likely to believe that there's secret tunnels connected to a pizza shop in Washington, D.C. A pizza shop, by the way, that is not connected to any tunnels, that has no basement, has been thoroughly searched. They tend to believe a bit in odd or magical thinking. And all that means is, magical thinking means they tend to think that there's some magic out there. That magical thinking means they don't see things at face value. They tend to be more superstitious. They tend to believe in things that can't be proven. And they draw a link between A and B, even though no link could possibly be drawn between A and B, and they can't draw one between A and B. However, they believe there is one between A and B. And they have a collective narcissism, which means that the group they belong to, whether it's a conspiracy group of some type, that they're superior, that the people who believe in this group are superior. I'm a member of the group that believes that aliens are behind cattle mutilation. I believe in that. My group believes in that because we're smarter, we're better, we're more enlightened. And when these two profiles meet, the cult leader and the conspiracy theorist, when they meet, they build modern conspiracy cults like Sovereign Citizens, QAnon. Now I'm going to give you more of an explanation, but I want to give you some research. Core personality traits of cult leaders. Grandiose narcissism. Leaders see themselves as uniquely important, chosen, or Messianic. That means that God sent them. They are the leaders. They are the humans who will lead the other humans to God. They demand constant admiration and feel entitled to total obedience. Does that sound like people you know? They demand constant admiration. Like, you're the best, you're the greatest. Love you, boss. Only you can do it, boss. You're so smart, boss. And they feel entitled to total obedience. You must follow everything they say, or they'll do their best to destroy you. And that research comes from Singer and Lalich, 1995, Henderson, 2023, and Coates, 2012. Cult leaders believe in and show Machiavellianism, the manipulation, skilled at deception. That means they're very good at deceiving, lying, cheating. They love bomb new recruits. So new recruits to the movement, they just talk to them. We're great. You're wonderful. We love having you. You're the best. You're great. They have parties for them, rallies for them. They're also very skilled at gaslighting, telling you you don't see what you see. You didn't hear what you heard. You know what gaslighting is from the famous movie. We use the term all the time. It comes from a movie. And they shift rules to keep followers off balance. In other words, so that you pay attention and you never take it for granted that you're a part of the group, then they change the rules. So you've got to constantly be on your toes to make sure you're doing it right. And the cult leader loves you and wants you in the cult. So you've got to be paying attention, on your toes at all times. That research comes from Part of the Dark, Triad, by Paulus and Williams, 2002, and Oakes, 2021. The next quality or trait is psychopathy, or callousness. They have a lack of remorse. Have you ever seen that cult leader said they were wrong or they were sorry? I remember hearing a political figure a number of years ago was asked a question, when you die and meet God, what would you apologize to God for? Now, I think most of us could find plenty of things to apologize to God for. Don't you? Really? Apologize for how you treated your second dog. Apologize for thinking this or thinking that, or not being good enough, or not going to church often enough, or not reading the Bible more, not being the best person you could be. You say, I'm sorry, God, I did this, I did that. I'm sorry, it's a regret. But this political leader actually said, I don't have anything to apologize to God for. I don't know. What would I didn't do anything. I can't think of anything. Think about that. Lack of remorse. They also have a superficial charm. They're charming. They have charisma, but it's not deep. It's very superficial. And they are willing to sacrifice their followers for personal gain or ideology. In other words, they're willing to say, hey, go to jail to cover for me. It's the thing to do. So they'll sacrifice a follower because they have no empathy for personal gain or for something they believe in. Does that sound familiar to you? That research comes from Hare, 1999, Babiak and Hare, 2006, and it was research done at Jonestown with the Branch Davidians at another location. Next characteristic, charismatic authority. Magnetic presence that makes followers feel seen and special, often amplified by an inner circle who repeat and exaggerate the leader's greatness. I might point out that you would do far better by showing your loyalty to the people who care about you, who love you. Give those people your loyalty, not a cult leader, whether it be Queen Romana or some political figure. Your loyalty should go to those people who would sacrifice for you, who honestly care about you. It takes courage to do that, to turn against a cult leader, a political personage that doesn't care whether you live or die. And it's good to be loyal to that person in your mind, but you can be mean to your own children, or mean to your wife or your husband or your mother or your father. There's an old saying, a euphemism, you only hurt the ones you love. And the reason for that is nobody else will allow you to hurt them. Nobody else will allow you to be close enough to hurt them. They won't give you the time of day if you start to be offensive. Only those who love you will. Think about it. Who have you hurt the most in life? Probably, again, your husband, your wife, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father. Really hurt him, made him cry, suffer, go into a depression of sorts for a while. You'd never try to do that with a friend, because they'd never put up with it. So the people that you should hurt the least are the people that you hurt the most. Your loyalty should be to those people who sacrifice for you, who love you, who care about you. Not for a political figure, not for some QAnon cause. And then when you're in the group at various levels, you get around other people who are into the group, then you each amplify and exaggerate the leader's greatness. Oh, this was great. He did this. This was great. She did that. That was great. That research is from Weber, 1947, Gallantier, 1989, and Lifton, 1961. By the way, those are all peer-reviewed studies. And what that means, peer-reviewed, it means you think you're an authority, you're writing a paper. Well, what happens is when you send that paper in, a group of other authorities in this area, known authorities, people who've published and received peer approval for themselves, these people will say whether or not your work is good. It'll be submitted to them by the publisher. Read this over. Sometimes you'll say it's no good. Sometimes you'll say it's great. Sometimes you'll say it will be great if you change this thing in page 14, paragraph 2. Or they'll give you a whole list, they'll hand it back to you. Or you might get approval. Change these things and we will publish. That's what peer-reviewed means. It just doesn't mean some author, some editor, some publisher likes it. It means your peers, the fellow experts in that field, the known experts in your field, agree that this paper is worth publishing. Authoritarian and erratic behavior, sudden mood swings, unpredictable punishments, and demands for absolute loyalty keep followers in a state of anxious dependence. Anxious dependence. So you're dependent on the cult leader, or the cult leader's second in command, or third, or fourth, or fifth, whatever is higher than you. And you know that you have to be absolutely obedient, or you'll get kicked out, or you'll be punished in some way. And you've seen this person punish other people. And the punishments are unpredictable. You can't say they're coming Wednesday. They come at any time. And so it keeps them on their toes, or in anxious dependence. That research was done by Lifton, 1961, and Barron, 2000. Next characteristic, delusional grandiosity. This could be a genuine belief that they are divine. And they'll tell you that by saying, I'm the only person that could do this. I'm the only person that could bring a resolution to this conflict. I'm the only person. Why? Because I'm divine. I'm the best in the world. God talks to me. You want to know what God has to say? Ask me. And they genuinely believe that they are divine. Or they believe that they are in contact with an advanced race of beings or aliens. And they also believe that they are destined to rule the world. This is research into the DSM-5 Cluster B Criteria Coats 2012. Now, what about people who are conspiracy theory believers? What are their traits? Now, they have odd and magical beliefs, sometimes thought of as schizotypal, which is a personality disorder. It's a neurosis, not a psychosis. It's not schizophrenia. It's a schizotypal. And people who tend to score high on tests for this see hidden patterns and secret forces everywhere. Hidden patterns. Well, I see this, the clock rang, and then my neighbor left, saw them out at their car carrying coffee, and then I got ready to leave and I forgot my work. Do you think that's just a coincidence? No. I am being stalked. They are working on me. And it works because they moved somebody in the house next door or corrupted them. They bring out their coffee, and then that causes me, maybe when they see me at the window, that causes me to forget my work. They see patterns where they don't exist, where they're not real. And that was Bose et al., which means and others, 2023 meta-analysis of 170 studies, Bruder et al., 2013. A meta-analysis, by the way, is getting the results of studies that have already been published. You get the results in the results section of the paper. And then you run an analysis of the results. You put all the results together and you run a meta-analysis. In that case, of 170 published papers. Paranoia and institutional mistrust. These are for conspiracy theory believers. Paranoia and institutional mistrust. Deep suspicion that powerful groups are lying or plotting harm. That's from March and Springer 2021 and Pierre 2020. Collective narcissism. The belief that our group, the group they belong to, maybe it's the group who believes in the pizza shop over top of the underground tunnels that where children are cannibalized and eaten. That was a QAnon belief, by the way. Totally nonsensical. No connection. It's built slab on grade. There's no basement. There's no door to the basement. Because there is no basement. There's no door anywhere. It's just like, your McDonald's that's out there. Slab on grade. That means slab of concrete sitting on a graded ground. Nothing beneath it. So collective narcissism means that our group, the awakened group, the truth seekers, is special. And it is being persecuted by evil elites. Like the Illuminati, all that stuff. All believed without evidence. You need evidence. So they believe that the group they belong to, which you could consider in quotes, our group, that's the awakened group, the cool guys, the best guys, the insightful people, the truth seekers, the special people. We're being persecuted by evil elites. That could be the government elites. That could be billionaires. And you believe that without any proof. And why do you believe it without proof? Because it means you're cool. You're one of the cool people. Your brother, he doesn't believe it because he's dumb. Us special people, we are awakened. We see the truth. It makes us special. And that was researchers from Chikaka, 2016, and March Kaluska, 2022. This goes on. Another trait is the uniqueness and control. There's a need for that. There's a propensity to want to be unique and have control. Conspiracy theories give a sense of having secret knowledge and restore feelings of agency in an uncertain world. That research was done by Lantian and others, Douglas et al., which means others, 2017. Another trait, lower cognitive reflection. Preference for intuitive over analytical thinking makes people more vulnerable to unfounded claims. Intuitive. This just means a gut feeling. I got a gut feeling. How do you know that? I don't know. I just know it. That's what I think. That research comes from Penny Cook and Rand, 2019, and Swami et al., 2014. Now here's how cult leaders, political personages, and conspiracy believers connect. What's the connection between cult leaders and conspiracy believers? Here it is. The cult leaders exploit the exact needs that drive conspiracy belief. Followers want simple explanations. It's like one world government. There's a simple explanation for you. Is why we don't have enough jobs and why you can't afford to buy a house. That's one world government coming, buddy. Or whatever it is. The Illuminati, the Rosicrucians, anybody. No proof, of course. You don't want proof. The leader provides a grand narrative. He calls it the storm, the quantum financial system, and bunches of other stuff. He makes up stuff. He gives it names like it's real. And suckers believe it. There's no way to go around this. You know, you got to be open. If you make a mistake, open to it. Be open to saying and realizing I made a mistake. That's the only way you can correct it. If you say I was a little bit off, and that's all I did wrong, well, that little bit off, that's all you can correct. You should hope you made a really big mistake because you could really connect and correct a deeper function, something much deeper. And the cult leaders believe themselves to be the only ones who can deliver salvation. Like Queen Romana. She's the only one. She's the highest person on the planet, or so she claims. She's been selected, and there are political leaders who you could think of who've said that. Only they can deliver salvation. When they say, only I can do it. When they say, I know more about the military than a general. I know more about the Navy than an admiral. I was never in the Navy or the military, but I know because there's something very, very special about me. And what's very, very special about them is they are narcissists, grand narcissists. That's a characteristic, by the way, that always comes with psychopathy. And now the leader's grandiose narcissism is mirrored by the followers. Their collective narcissism. We're very special people because we believe in our leader. We recognize our leader is grand. And we're better. Now, we're not better than the leader, but we're better than the non-believers because we recognize that our leader is grand. And that's sometimes called we are the chosen few who see the truth. The truth about what? The truth about our leader. And the problem is what they believe to be true is not true. And here are real world examples that function like cults. QAnon, Anonymous Q, became a deified leader figure. Deified, that means godlike. Romana Didelot and other sovereign citizens who are queens and kings. Certain anti-vaccine or 5G groups that evolve into hierarchical, financially exploitative movements. All of these people display classic cult markers: love bombing, shunning of outsiders, escalating demands, and threats against ex-believers. What about the ex-believers? They're threatened. Oftentimes their lives are threatened. That, by the way, comes from Argentino, 2021, John Rickey, and others 2022. It's sad that so many people are willing to believe in things that aren't provable, have not been proven. But that can change at any time. If you refuse to believe something until you have evidence, maybe you could lean a little bit and say, well, I don't have any proof, but I think this is probably true. But I know I can't prove it. I can't say for sure it's true. I kind of lean in that direction, though. That's okay. But for people who assume something's true because their father told them, or their brother told them, or even their boss told them, there's quite a strong connection between a correlation between what a powerful figure believes. It could be your father, it could be your boss, honestly, it could be your co-workers, and your own beliefs. That when you become a member of that group, the co-workers or the son of the father or the daughter of the father, you will then assume they are the experts and you will believe what they believe. Not because you have proof, but because the expert, the powerful people at work, they believe it, you believe it. There's a lot to think about here, what we've gone over. And honestly, not all of you will be ready to understand it, because you'll just say, no, I don't want to give up my belief in QAnon, or I don't want to say that so-and-so can't prove anything he says because I'm a believer and I don't want to give it up. I'm afraid to give it up, to be honest with you. It doesn't go well for people who give it up. There are those people, and there are going to be those people who say, hey, wait a minute, truth above all else. It's got to be true. I've got to know it to be true. Show me proof. Give me evidence. And if we went through this long video and we helped two people, well, I can assure you those two people will help more people, their brother, their children. It's like that in therapy. When you bring a mother and father, or a mother into therapy, or a father into therapy, and you help them, you correct their problems, you've made their descendants healthier, because the mother will pass on healthy characteristics, the father healthy ideas and beliefs. So it's like a wave. It can gather momentum, and oftentimes does. We need you to like the video, or subscribe to the channel, or recommend it to a friend. We need you to do that so that it will affect the algorithm that YouTube uses. And then we'll have more followers. Our videos will be shown to more people. That's the way it works. So you can help other people. If this has helped you, subscribe, like it, share it, because that will help other people. Not us. It's going to help other people. That's what you can do to help. If you want to help, you can do that. Okay, this is Analytical Media. We hope we've been a positive thing in your life. We've done something positive, given you something to think about, even debate in your own mind or talk about with a friend. Maybe some interest in a deeper truth or a deeper reality. This is Analytical Media. We'll see you in the next video if you decide to join us. Take care. Hope all has gone well for you and your friends and family. See you next time.